Jack with Midlands Heads Radio, and I'm here with Hands Like Houses. Would you like just introduce yourself?
I'm Alex. I play guitar.
So, what's it like being back in the UK then?
It was actually really nice. We definitely had the most hectic flight over here. I think it was sort of this total of about 36 hours worth of travel with all the layovers and everything. Yeah. But then once we finally landed and got over a bit of jet lag, it was good. It was the most beautiful day when we landed in London as well, so that was kind of a plus.
That's nice. So last time, on your first headline tour, you actually played this exact same venue.
Yes.
But upstairs.
Upstairs, yeah.
What's it like now you've been upgraded?
Because as we've been going like from place to place, we were like, oh, what's this venue again? What's that venue? Because it's like there's so many kind of levels to each of the venues. Yeah. And obviously we've been coming to the UK for a while. But yeah, it's nice to be downstairs. There's definitely more PA, so it's definitely going to be a lot louder and a bit more room to move. So it should be a good night, I reckon.
How was the adjustment? Because obviously it's quite a difference of a time zone. How was that?
Everyone's been kind of slow. There's a lot of napping. Yeah. This is the first tour where basically everyone brought those, those like travel neck pillows. Yeah. So there's a whole lot of like constantly wearing those, and everyone kind of just drifts off here and there. But yeah, it's been good. I reckon maybe by tomorrow everyone will be smooth sailing.
Real good.
I think the adrenaline's kind of working in everyone's favour as well.
Yeah. So what's one piece of advice you'd wish you were given when you originally started touring overseas, especially like now you're in the UK and Europe?
Oh man, one piece of advice. I feel like I'm always so good at these questions as well, because we constantly have this banter in the van of being like, if someone had just said this. I think the biggest thing I'd tell someone is just like patience. There's like this constant thing of like, as soon as you start a band, you're like, all right, everything's got to be like go, 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 go. And I feel like the faster things start happening, potentially faster the like decline of the band as well. Yeah. So if you give yourself that patience and you kind of like really focus on stuff, then hopefully it kind of creates that longevity rather than just like a little bit of, I don't know, like one album and then it just kind of crumbles.
Yeah, just take your time a little bit. Yeah, it will happen eventually.
Also, it's take your time in terms of like soaking in the surroundings and stuff as well. Like we get to explore all the cities we come through as well, so that's kind of nice.
So have you had a chance to explore Birmingham much at all?
Not today. We've had a few hurdles to get over today, but last time we were here, we had a nice little wander around. It's a really beautiful city, actually.
It's got some nice areas.
It does.
Have some nice areas.
It does have a lot of nice areas.
Are you aware of the UK band Neck Deep?
Yes.
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 They recently,
I know where this question is
they
going.
recently covered Torn, the same song that you covered on Punk Goes 90s.
I did notice that, yeah.
Who did it better?
Look, in terms of the video, I really like their video. Yeah. Like they recreated the whole thing. I checked it out the other day and they do a really, really good job.
It's quite nice shot for shot, yeah.
The guys are lovely. I'm just not like a massive pop punk guy. Yeah. So that's my thing. But I've seen a lot of, everyone seems to be on Twitter being like, ooh, and I'm just like, who cares? Like, and funnily enough, Torn was actually a cover. Natalie Imbruglia covered. There's like an original band, I can't remember who it is, but that was one of the fun facts we found out.
There's a cover of a cover of a cover, like.
Yeah, this is like the fourth cover. I'm sure there's been heaps more. So
Jesus.
Yeah. I'm sure there's that original band sitting there being like, our cover's better, and everyone's like, who knows?
Who are you, right? Yeah. So your latest album, like Anon, came out recently.
Yes,
How's
very recently.
Very recently. How's the reception been for that?
Fan. Really good. And I know it's sort of like I say that with a bit of surprise, but it's such a nerve-wracking thing releasing a new album, and you take all this time away and you kind of craft it and you work on all these bits and pieces, and you kind of go through all these emotions of being like, I'm really excited, and then you start being like, oh no, but now we have to show people. And it's like it goes from outside the band, and then you show like management, or you show like your mum, and you start getting these responses, and then you just kind of build up more nerves and more anxiety. So I'm glad it's out there, and it seems to be getting really, really good reviews. So
can breathe now.
Yeah, exactly right.
So
just soak it up.
What is your favourite song off that album then, to maybe even play, or just in general?
There's so many songs on the album that I love, and I guess everyone says that about like all their albums. Sick is definitely a unanimous favourite amongst the band. But outside of the more obvious ones, one of my favourites is Through Glass. Okay. It's kind of like a little more of like a cruisy, I don't know, like kind of like a boogie song.
A boogie song.
Yeah. I don't know how to describe it actually, but I really enjoyed like the process of kind of that all coming together.
So how did the entire album come together? Where was the inspiration drawn from?
Man, it was a bit of a process, to be honest. We kind of went through and we were heading in one direction. It was sort of a similar direction to the kind of space where Dissonance had been, like our previous album. And then all of a sudden, as we started writing these songs, we were like, excuse me, it just wasn't feeling like separate enough. Like it wasn't feeling like enough of a step into something new. So we had this trip booked where our producer from America was coming over to Australia, and we spent, I think it was a week up at Trenton's wife's farm. So it was all really secluded, and we set up like this huge tent. It was like a 10-person tent in his paddock, and then there was like this old bus that he's converted into like I guess like bunk bed space. So we had this kind of commune area going on, and then that was where some of the songs really started taking shape, and it was like, okay, we're going to take this in a bit of a different direction. Songs like Sick and Overthinking and stuff came out of there. And I think that then gave us a bit more confidence going into the next few months before we went into the studio to really kind of push some different aspects before we really kind of like nailed it down on a piece of paper. Printed it.
That sounds like quite a fun recording experience, to be fair.
It was to be honest. I think the thing of, because everyone not necessarily falls into the trap. Sometimes it works for us of having that kind of like you can't take your foot off the pedal. And I think this was the first time, basically, so this is our 4th album, and all the other albums, it was just like, go, 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 go. And you barely have any time to sort of like sit and think and write. It's kind of just like your gut instinct and hoping it works out. Unfortunately, it has definitely for us. But it was nice this time to kind of like have a bit more space to breathe with the songs as well. So it was good.
That's good. So
it was a fucking answer and a half, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a really good answer. Definitely a good one. So I know it's probably a little bit early to maybe talk about new music, but what's the current plan now? I presume it's to tour as much as possible with this current cycle.
Well, I mean, like I and we are sort of always writing and thinking about what we can do. I feel like you can't spend too much time just like resting on your laurels. So for us, off this album cycle, we're really wanting to head towards like festivals. So obviously we're trying to do like Slam Dunks, Reading and Leeds, and that kind of thing. And then just do that basically similar sort of things through Europe and America and Australia as well. But then I'm hoping we get like I feel like people have created this kind of this pressure on bands where it's like you have like a year as like an album cycle. But I'm hoping we can get like a couple of years out of it rather than kind of just having to. It's almost like as soon as you put something out, it's like, all right, what next? It's like soak that up for a little while.
Can have 2 minutes to myself.
But I think that'll be the thing with touring as well. So you kind of like stave that off by like going on tour as well. So I'm sure we'll have a lot more tours in the pipeline. That's all top secret stuff, of course, always.
Oh, naturally, can never tell us anything, can you?
Not as of yet, but yeah, there's definitely some exciting stuff coming together.
Where are you hoping to go out to then, sort of reckon? Like some of your maybe favourite cities?
Obviously there's like the favourite. I would love to come back to the UK again. I mean, we've got the London show in a few days, which is always like a big one over here. Birmingham's always really good for us, and so is Manchester. I'm excited to get over to America. We've got like Chicago, and LA is always a fun one as well. But then I kind of want off this cycle as well, like I want to go to a lot more through like Asia and get over to Europe more, and then try some South America. Like I kind of want to expand a little bit outside of the usual
sort of the Western world. Like
kind of like I don't know, use it as a bit of like we can play some shows and then also I can do some traveling. Kind of
use a nice little excuse to get out.
We've interestingly enough got some South African shows booked. So that's the first time we'll have all been to South Africa.
That's gonna be interesting.
So, it's 3 shows over like 10 days, and the rest is just safari time. So.
That's good. That's a nice little holiday as well.
I'm feeling pretty stoked about that. That's definitely something to look forward to.
So any final words to the fans?
I guess I hope everyone is enjoying the album as much as we enjoyed creating it. It's going to be a great couple of years for us. So make sure you stay tuned. I appreciate you guys coming down and checking it out.
Too. So I've been Jack and Millen's What Heads Radio. It's been Hands Like Houses, and see you next time. Cheers.